Taraba. Whoa. How is Jalingo this morning, Nathan? Please let us know what the weather is like. It's been raining a lot here in Lagos. I am here in Lagos. It's been raining a lot. Yes, Kike is from Benue. You see, we have people from, it's a global community. We have Abel Sunday from Abuja. We have, am I missing anybody? We have Kike from Benue. You're welcome. We have Labisi, my Lagosian, my Lagos people. You're welcome. Shegun from Abuja. You're welcome. Meanwhile, while we're doing the welcome, if there's anybody you've invited for this webinar and the person is not here, please, you cannot enjoy this on your own. Please go and remind them. This is the time to remind them. Send them a message, send them a text, tell them that we are live. The webinar is about to start and we don't want you to miss any part of it. So please send them a message, call them. If you need to call them right now and say we're live. We're ready. We are good to go. You don't want to miss any part of this because today, the theme for this month is smarter. And, we're looking at working smart. Right now, it's not about working hard. It's not about the hard work. It's about the smart work. It's good to work hard. But when you work smart, your productivity peaks in a whole new, different way. And that's one of the things we want to really learn today with our speakers. We have two amazing speakers, and our very own coach is one of them. If I tell you how excited I am today, as in if you see my mind, Ofem from Abuja, welcome. Jalingo is hot as usual. Are you serious? So are you telling me it's not been raining in Jalingo? Wow, it's hot as usual. Yeah, Pele. Don't worry. You'll be fine. I know you'll be fine. So welcome. Please let's go back to our group. Tell them it's happening already. We are live, we are on, and we are ready to get rolling. Okay, so while we are waiting for others to join in and to introduce themselves here in the chat, I just want to say welcome once again to our September webinar. I'll be playing the read profile in just a bit. So if you are a guest, if this is your first time, please also let us know. If this is your first time, either on Facebook or here in the Zoom group, please let us know that this is your first time so that we can welcome you well. The ushers will be passing some sweet things around. You don't want to miss out on that. But if we know that it's your first time, we can welcome you properly. So please let us know. V Brain from Abuja. We have so many Abuja people here. Abuja, sending all my love to you. Yes, Nike Bamishaye. I'm seeing one Nike Bamishaye here on the group. Please, Nike, let us know where you're joining us from. You are welcome. You are welcome. This is such a beautiful time. I'm so excited to be the one moderating this event, and I know that it's going to be worth your while. It's going to be a lot of value. First time out. Oh, Shego, I'm welcoming you specially. Please, my ushers, make sure you give Shego the VIP welcome. First, wow, so many first timer. Okay, first timer from Ghana. Oh, Yvonne, we are so excited to have you in the room. This is a warm place, it's a warm family, and you're welcome to join us. I know you are going to find great value here. Who else am I missing? Okay, Nike Bamishaye from Abuja. Welcome, Nike. So good to have you. Yvonne, how is Ghana today? How is Ghana? How is the weather and how are you? Yes, so Fem says I'm full of expectations. I am full of expectations. And by the time we play the profile of the speakers, you will just be like, boom, boom. It will be like a whole new kind of light that will just open up your heart for today's webinar. When you see their profile, in fact, when I saw the profile of the guest speaker, that's Mr. Steven, I was like, I said, like, he looks so young, and with all his achievements, when I play it, don't worry, just calm down. When I play it, you would see what I'm talking about. These are strong people, and you want to listen to them, and you also want to get your family and friends to be part of this webinar because they are going to get so much value. I was listening to somebody and over the weekend, and he was saying that your personal development is your duty, is in your hands. It's not in somebody else's hands. And that you are here today just tells me that you take your personal development very seriously. You're not joking with it, and you are not here to joke. So I just want to encourage you, don't be here and there. Don't be here and trying to do something else. Don't try and multitask this. I need you to sit down with your journal, get your book, get your pen like I have here, get your water if you need, so that you don't even have to stand up. Because I promise you, for the next, each of the speaker will be speaking for about 40 minutes. And you really, really want to pay attention to them. You don't want to miss out any part of it. You want to take notes. You want to, pay attention. You really want to be here. So am I missing anybody? Oh, we have 18 people now in the room. Awesome. Awesome. So right now, I would be sharing the Read profile. Please stay with us. You're welcome to Read. Read is an amazing family. And if this is your first time, you will find the profile very informative and very valuable. So please stay with me. Welcome once again. Thank you for joining us. Please let me know in the chat once you can see my screen, and you can also hear what I'm playing. All right, let's smile. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay, I have it right here. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Let me know in the chat that you can see my screen before I play. Can you see my screen? Okay, please, I need your feedback before I start playing. Can someone let me know in the chat that you can see? Okay, thank you so much, Nathan. So that is it. Let me play it one more time just to be sure that you got every bit of it. I'm going to play it one more time to allow you catch up and just read through our profile. We're doing amazing things in Read. And if you are not part of the Read community, let me not say you're sleeping on the bicycle, but we'll have that conversation later. So let me play it one more time so that we can get, yeah.
Healthy. Read NGR is a non-profit, non-governmental, and non-religious platform created to produce ethical millionaires, thought leaders, and change
everybody. So if you are not following us on social media, we will be dropping our social media handles so that you can follow us. We drop a lot of value on our social media pages and you really don't want to miss it. Please follow us so that you are informed when we have programs, when we have activities that you can engage with. And I'm sure after today's meeting, you will know that we don't joke here in Read. We are really value adding, we are a value adding community, and we are also a very purposeful and strategic community. Okay, all right. So right now, it's 11:15 over here, and because we don't want to waste time, we're also very time conscious here. I would want to play the profile of our speakers. Now, these speakers are global speakers, amazing people that you want to listen to. I don't want to talk too much. I'm just going to play the profile and let you and allow you take it all in. Sorry, let me admit a few people in the waiting room. We have some people waiting at the waiting room. Okay, welcome. Welcome to everyone that's just joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, so I'll be sharing the profile of our speaker. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us. You need to see this. You need to watch this. Just give me a minute and I will start sharing. Please let me know you are still with me in the chat. I don't want to feel alone here at any point in time. Umbatidem Jackson, I can see you. Welcome. Good to have you. Are we still here? Are we still here? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know you are still here. Okay. Okay. We're ready. We're ready to start sharing. Still here. Thank you, Nike. Thank you, fans. Thank you. Okay, so we're ready. Let's go.
Stephen Angbulu is a writer, TEDx speaker, and reading coach. As lead learner of Reader Circle Book Club, he has helped hundreds of people to build effective systems for reading the right books and getting the best out of them. Since 2012, Stephen has authored over 3,000 articles and essays, several of which have been selected for awards. In 2016, his essay on youth advocacy and leadership emerged as winning entry for the National Youth Essay Competition organized by the Bible Society of Nigeria in conjunction with the National Youth Service Corps. In 2018, he emerged as the second runner-up in the Peace Right Now essay writing competition organized by the Embassy of Ireland, Nigeria. He was named to the Africa LinkedIn Influencer Awards Content Creator category and Top 50 Personalities on LinkedIn in Nigeria 2020. Stephen has shared his ideas on TEDx, BBC News Africa, NTA, TVC, and Daily Trust newspapers. Today, he is a State House correspondent at one of Nigeria's foremost media houses, the Punch newspapers. Adepoju Tumininu holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Electronic and Electrical Engineering from the University of Ilorin, Nigeria. She is an internationally certified process-driven manager with several international certifications including Scrum Master and ITIL certification. She has training in project management, Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, and Certified Business Analyst. She has also completed several leadership programs at Harvard Business School and has over 17 years of experience in supervisory and management roles, with strength in changing the behavioral culture of the team and creating a strong team. As a much sought-out public speaker, She has featured on several platforms both locally and internationally. These include Taurare Arewa Televent as a moderator, Awedi International, MOA, Seda Group, TCNWIB, Father's Jewel, and Let's Talk Charity, to mention a few. She was awarded as the most supported member for 9 to 5 Chick 2021, a community of mid-executive career women. She was equally selected among the top 100 career women in Nigeria. She is a member of the prestigious WIMBs, Women in Business, and Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE. Tumininu is passionate about financial freedom and helping people reach their God-given potential through personal development. This she does through coaching and mentoring, which has come with some staggering successes. One of her greatest joys is watching zeros become heroes by helping people discover limiting habits and replacing them with habits that help them reach their potential. Her vision is to ensure to grow a generation of leaders that will bring transformational change to the world in their respective spheres of influence and help them overcome their fears by providing the necessary resources to develop a growth mindset to overcome failure. As a part of the READ vision, she has helped grow the community in the space of 1 year to impact over 1,000 people in over 10 countries. These webinars have attracted acclaimed speakers worldwide, including CEOs, bank directors, renowned life coaches, and captains of industries. Lives have been transformed and habits have been changed by the information and knowledge she shared on this platform. Bunmi Okesola is a lover of God and a child protection advocate with over 5 years experience in the NGO space, where she spearheaded several projects including projects funded by TFID, UN Women, and the French Embassy on addressing sexual and gender-based violence against girls. She runs a capacity building program on child protection and abuse prevention for parents, schools, and institutions working with children. She serves as a parent coach with a faith-based non-profit organization called El Tales Foundation, working side by side with parents to raise godly, responsible, confident, and capable children. She is also a support coach at Immerse Coaching Company, a tech-driven global coaching community with over 40,000 thought leaders, visionaries, and purpose-driven men and women across 99 countries. Her expressions include teenage mentorship, moderating online events, and community management. Ladies and gentlemen, on this prestigious platform, let us make welcome our speakers and moderator on today's webinar.
All right, come on now. I'm not seeing our excitement in the chat room. Did you see those profiles? See, if you are, except we are not here, if you are here, let me see the fire. Let me see your emojis. Let me see all the things that will show that you are highly tantalized and ready for today's webinar. Did you see that profile? In fact, I had to write one down. I say, he has written, did you see the first speaker, Mr. Steven? He has written over 3,000 articles and essays, award-winning speaker, spoken on TEDx, spoken on BBC, spoken on TVC. Abba, now let me be seeing the fire. Let me be seeing the fire. And our very own coach, speaking on several platforms with all the leadership profile. Do you know that she was awarded one of the top 100 women leaders by 9 to 5 Chick? I know now our coach is doing amazing work. everyone for yes, I'm seeing the celebration in the chat. It tells me you are ready. You are ready to go. If you are ready, let me know. Put ready in the comment section. Put ready. I'll be bringing up our first speaker for this morning. So let me see that you are ready. If I don't see ready, I will not bring her up. I'm the one in charge of this event. This up right away. Ready? One ready, two ready, three, four, going. I'm still counting. Ready to roll. Yes. Ready, 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 ready. Yes. And I am ready. And coach is ready. Please help me welcome my own coach, a force of life. We call her a force. You will experience her today. Those coming in for the first time, you will experience the force of life today. She will push you into your destiny, whether you like it or not. Please help me celebrate her. Welcome, my very own coach. I love you. I celebrate you, Ma, and I am super expectant to hear you speak this morning. Welcome, Ma. You have the floor.
Well, very, very awesome introduction. Thank you so much, Bunmi. Hello, Stephen. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring the invitation. We celebrate you. It's where you agreed to come. So I first had the privilege of meeting Stephen sometime last year. And when I read his profile, I was like, wow, amazing people doing amazing things. And we reached out to him and we said Nigerians are good people. Africans, we're amazing people. We love to share. There was no hesitation. He just said yes. As Stephen permits me, I said I wanted to present before you because this session, as a like, I'm looking at that Stephen session. I have a whole notebook, a whole notepad, because on this journey, on the journey of life, and I've already started presenting. Yeah, on the journey of life, we're all students. The day you stop learning, that day you start dying. There's no plateau in life. The team gave me a very, very interesting topic that I believe everybody, including myself, is going to find very illuminating. And it's going to be interactive, very interactive. Ivan, how are you doing? Thanks for coming. Amazing woman. Mika, I see you. Kemi, Nathan, Samuel, we've done the welcoming. Please, if I did not mention your name, it's not as a slight to you. It's because we need to move. It's Saturday, and this shows you're good. So I have this very interesting topic to discuss. Finding you. For you to find something, the thing must be missing now. And when I'm seeing both on Facebook and on the Zoom, so many people in, it shows that this is actually a very serious topic. And we're going to give it all the sense of seriousness that it deserves. And this is all about each and every one of us here, everybody. Identity crisis has become a very serious problem in our world. And yes, we're going to have this stream on a different platform, including YouTube. So I'll be careful with my choice of words, but you will still understand what I'm saying. So we are now in a world where gender is no longer male and female. It's gotten to a stage. I think I was filling a form and I saw, is it, I'm not sure, or not declared, or something very funny. I say, gender. While I was in school, it's either you're a male or you're a female, like it's very straightforward. So the world we are living in right now, it's so complex, and that's why it's understandable. Please connect with me, stay with this. This is going to help you redefine not just the next season of your life, but your entire life all through. And I need for you to have a very open mind in this presentation. Shakespeare, one of the sages long gone, he said, to thy own self be true. So I beg of you, in the next 40 minutes that I would be presenting, be true to yourself. I'll be asking you some questions that is only you that can answer. Remember that this is not, you see those movies like maybe Finding Anna, Finding Bunmi, Now we are finding you. So you are putting your name in this, and you have to be very true to yourself. I'm laying a foundation to say that you finding yourself is not surprising in the world we are living in currently. When knowing your gender is no longer AB, it's neither this nor this. There are a lot of complexities that has entered the matter. So there are a lot of complexities that has entered our world that is creating the kind of confusions we seem to face. So let's roll, because I have quite a bit of slides. I have this picture. I don't know which of these pictures you can connect with, and I'll be speaking about them quite a bit. We see this man with a map, and despite the map, the guy is still looking confused. There are some of you here that you think you have the map to your life, and you are at a stage where it doesn't seem to be working. The rule book said, go to school, you've gone to school. Get good grades, you've gotten good grades. Get married early, you've gotten married early. Have children, you've had children. Yet, there's that vacuum. There's that sense of dissatisfaction. You know it. Some of you, you are not, the sincerity is not the right word. You are not vulnerable enough to actually come out with these feelings. But you know that the reason why you are edgy, the reason why you are cranky is that there is something that this map, I followed the jigsaw puzzle. I'm an A student. At work, I'm an award-winning person. But I'm still lost. Where am I? Who am I? Who is this? Things seem to be working in time past, but it's no longer working now. Or you might be like the person to my right, and you're at a crossroad. Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I be a science student? Should I be an art student? Should I japa or should I stay in my locality? Should I marry Brian or should I marry Michael? Am I even a Christian? Am I a Muslim? Am I a free thinker? Who am I? Why am I even having all those thoughts? Am I normal? I just got promoted and I want more. Does it make sense? And some of us, maybe the stage we're at is at this young man. You are just tired. I mean, you are just tired. You are so overwhelmed that you can't even see the rising of the sun anymore. Life has happened. Can I get some responses in the house? Does this make sense? Is this something that looks like questions that we ask ourselves on a day-to-day basis? Does it make sense? I feel like I'm not grateful, it's not happening. So, and the interesting thing about being, I was like, should I use the word missing? Being missing or finding yourself is, and that is where we need to be very careful, is that you're actually making movement. That's why it doesn't look visible to most people. And that's why I'm saying that you have to be true to yourself. In this class, this is a class where you have to be true to yourself, because on the external, you look like you have your life together. That's why some of you, your spouse do not understand. They don't even know what you're going through. because you're going through the motion. You are Baba Bomboy, Mama Bomboy. The whole world is clapping for you, but you are not clapping for yourself. And it does not matter who is clapping for you guys. If you are not clapping for yourself, there's a problem. That's why you see superstars. And it does not make you, we are debunking some nonsense myths in our head. It doesn't make you abnormal. It makes you absolutely normal. So you start asking that why would a man like Michael Jackson, I love Michael Jackson a lot. I like, talent personified. I love Michael. You now start wondering, this is Michael that people see and they faint. Like, he touched me. They faint. And a man like Michael is still taking drugs to sleep. So much so that he's taking overdose. And he crossed over and we lost a great talent at a very early age. You are asking, what does somebody like Whitney Houston, what does she have to do with drugs? The looks, the voice, the talent, the crowd, the accolades. What? We all get to these stages, these different stages. I'm bringing these big stars to you so that you understand that at the end of the day, we're all men. And when you're a man, you need to understand your weaknesses. And you move forward. It's knowledge. That is what we are all about here. It's not about burying you in a whole load of guilt. It's about giving focus and giving direction. Bunmi, you know me now. I tend to do everlasting gospel, so you have to be prompting me on time. I have Stephen here. You need to know this down because this is a thought-provoking class. This is actually not a journey. This is not like a 40-minute class. It's a journey, and you would see it. Because the truth is you change. There was a time in your life that you were very happy. It looked like everything was going on fine. Then you got to a stage in your life where you are no longer comfortable. And it's fine. That is life because you must grow. Life has happened, different experiences has happened. So these are things that you must consistently be doing as you move on in this journey called life. Charles Darwin, for those of us that are science students, Charles Darwin says that in evolution, the species, the creatures that survive are not the strongest, but they are the ones that are most adaptable to change. So change is a characteristic of living things, and you have to be patient with yourself through your process of change. One of the questions you need to consistently be asking yourself is, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Can I have like 5 responses in the house? Who are you? Who are you? This is about you now because we are finding you. So we need to know who you are. Let's even know who we are finding. I said this is an interactive class, so my eyes in the chat room. Who are you? Who are you? You've just read like 3 bios. You've gone through bios. I was saying amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's know. Who are you? I'm Nathan Paul. I'm the greatest. I like that. And we'll be defining it. Itunujika, I'm a change maker. I'm V-Brain. Can I have 2 more? Who are you? 2 more. Okay, you guys are still thinking about it. So you can imagine Segun, I'm the world's greatest. So I'm hoping that the response in the chat is because of the time is a catalyst for positive change in Nigeria. Amazing, Annette. I'm hoping the response in the chat is the time is taking you to chat, because you realize that if I'm asking you that, what is your name? It won't take you time. who are you shouldn't take us time. Faith, I like the sincerity. We'll be reaching out to you. At some point, all of us were at this stage, and I'm not reading out your chat, but I love that sincerity. So we'll now make it specific, and I will start. So I'm happy sometimes when, so I've seen my students here, they call me coach. When we ask those questions, you know, we start saying, I'm a mother, I'm a teacher, that's just a particular position. You're able and willing to serve others without reservation. Awesome, that's who you are. Being a mother, it's just a fraction of, it's an amazing thing. I'm a mother and I love my daughter to bits, but I'm more than a mother. I'm more than a wife. I'm more than a daughter. That's just a fraction of who I am. So please, after this meeting, and we will be taking this on after here. I'm smiling because this is quite interactive. I'm looking at some of the responses. You need to sit down to ask yourself who you are, because who you are will determine how you would move. As we tell ourselves in Read, no matter how far you travel on a wrong road, it would never carry you to your desired destination. So you have to be very, and we'll be looking at that. You have to be very clear on this who you are. And the next question I'm now going to ask you is, who do men say you are? The Christians among us here, they know that even Jesus that we claim to follow, he got to a stage, he called his disciples, who do men say I am? Identity. So let's go. Friends and family, if they are asking you, so I've seen this, I'm the greatest, I'm a catalyst, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a that, I'm a that. So who do men say you are? This is who you say you are. You know, we are talking about your identity. Who are you? So let's see. For my people that have told me who they are, who do men say you are? Who do men say you are? Do they see you as a gift to mankind, an inventor in the making? Do they see you as a strategist and the best preacher in the world? Do they see you as somebody that is willing to serve others without reservation? What do men see you? Now, for those of us that are familiar with the story that I said, you know, and this is very important. So for you to actually know who you are, and that's why I said this is not something we can finish today, because see, only this one, I can take the next 40 minutes breaking this down. But I need for you to be able to go away with some tangibles so that you can tie it together. When your friends and family and your colleagues, I was speaking with someone one day, and the person, you know, the way we can be very religious in the part of the world I stay in, you know, always in the religious home. I don't want to mention religion so that I'm not castigating any religion. And the guy came to meet me. He's always coming to meet me with all sorts of things. And you know, everybody has a problem. Everybody, the whole world has a problem. This person is not doing this right. So I said, okay, I agree that everybody's not doing this thing right. But I know that you're a very religious person. He said, yes. I said, so imagine that your religious leader that you respect very much comes into your place of work. And this is a check to everybody. That imagine whoever it is that you respect, your father, your mother, your spouse, comes into your place of work, and the person that you are claiming to be, so maybe at home you don't talk, and they now come in and they say, oh, please, we are looking for Itunu, a very quiet person. They say, okay, we know Itunu here, but if the Itunu you are looking for is a quiet person, that person is not here. There is not the same person. It's not the same person. The English word for that is multiple personality disorder. You don't know who you are yet. You are like a chameleon. You are changing with every wind of weather. But these are things that, would look at us. Now, where are you? That ties to the first slide, because you must be able to take your geographical location so that you would understand how many kilometers away you are. If I'm going to the UK, the US, as we are moving, the pilot will say we have moved X kilometers to your destination. And even if it is not an international flight, there's distance. As you are covering distance, you should know whether you're moving closer or farther. And that is why the where are you is very important. So let me assume that I say, oh, I'm a force. I'm a change agent. And by the time I'm asking people around me, who am I? And they are saying that, oh, you are somebody that we can get to do what we want. People want people that they can get to do what we want. Honestly, you cannot be a change agent by being malleable. It's not possible. I saw catalyst in here. Catalyst is somebody that changes catalyst is something that changes an equation and it itself is not changed. Science students, am I correct? Or am I disappointing my science teacher? Let them not come and withdraw my certificate. That a catalyst enters into an equation. It changes the equilibrium of that equation, but it remains constant. So when they now start telling you that, no, when you come, you blend, you bend, you blend, you are now like, is that the person I want to be? Where am I? What do I need to do? Do I need to change locations and all of that? Then without changing a hand, I wanted to say verified here, so I'm correct. Thank you. It's nice to know say I study school books more, even if it's not plenty. Yeah. Now, and I'll be dwelling on this RCA quite a bit. Even if it's the only thing I achieved today, I will have achieved a lot. Why do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? A lot of us, we think that the reason why, and this is very important to me, I think I only have Africans here, because it breaks my heart. It's a good thing, but I'm like, we'll change the narrative. That we have Africans go into other climes, under environment, and they are doing amazingly well, amazingly. I've seen it, just look at the data, it's there. So why are we not doing as well as we should in our home front? Why do we do what we do? These people don't change, their mindset just change. It's all about the mind. You are a product of the information. I'm looking forward to Stephen's session. This webinar is going to change your life. And that's why I needed to take this session first, so that when Stephen is taking his session, you understand that you are holding your destiny in your hands. That after this session, depending on what you decide to be, your future generation will bless you for this decision that you are making today. And I'm not making them out. So you understand why you do what you do. When you bring, while I speak with some people sometimes, you are asking somebody do this, the person will tell you, no, I cannot do it. Oh, he said, why can't you do it? It's because I'm a shy person. Who told you? So I tell people I'm a very shy person, but people don't believe it. But that's the truth. The question is, who shyness help? When I realized that, when I defined who I was, I realized that shyness was not a, how will I put it? Shyness was not a profit added package. I learned how to drop the shyness when it's not necessary. So when I need to talk like this, I come out and I speak. When I don't need to talk, I'm not opening my mouth and I'm talking like, It's not necessary. You can be anything. If you pick, and my next few slides would really help you break this down. And this is extremely important. These are things that is not a today matter, trust me. RCA simply means root cause analysis. Because when you give birth to a child, for those of us that are mothers here, or parents in general, the child is neither shy nor whatever. So how do you grow up and you decide that I'm shy, I'm timid, I'm outspoken, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a good dancer, I'm a clinical dancer? Who told you? Who told you? I will be looking at that. Next slide. Now, this experiment was actually carried out by a group of scientists. They put 5 monkeys in a cage, and in the middle of the cage, they put a ladder with bananas on the top. Everybody knows that monkeys love bananas. Now, every time, because monkeys love banana, monkeys naturally gravitate towards, every human being really gravitates towards what they love, or every creature gravitates towards what they love. So, every time a monkey goes up the ladder, the scientists would soak the rest of the monkeys. Note, the scientists soaks the rest of the monkeys, not the monkey going up, with cold water. So the monkeys that are not going up the ladder, with time, they now associate that, see, every time my colleague goes up a ladder, I get punished for it. So after a while, every time a monkey goes up the ladder, the other monkeys will pick up that one monkey and beat it very well. Beat sense into his head. You are making us get cold water baits. Now, when a number of monkeys try to go up, their colleague will pull them down, beat sense into their heads. Some of us, we need some sense to be beaten into our heads. After a while, no monkey dared go up the ladder. It does not matter how juicy that banana looks. I will not be beaten. The scientists, when they now saw that, see, the monkeys were no longer going up the ladder. The scientists now said, okay, let's take this experiment a next step further. They now removed one of the monkeys and brought in a new monkey. Now the new monkey comes in, looks at all the other monkeys, sees banana like, if people are not hungry, banana ray. This is banana for my non-Yoruba speaking audience. They move up. As he's trying to go up, the other members that have chopped beating, they pull the monkey down, beat the monkey. So and now remember that this new monkey was never baited with cold water. It was the old monkeys that was baited with cold water. But they know that, see, if a new person goes up, if a monkey goes up, sorry, cold water is coming. So if we don't want cold water bait, just don't let the monkey go up. So they beat the monkey very well, beat it. They now started exchanging the monkeys, as in, that's the monkeys that were beaten, the monkeys that were baited with cold water. They kept substituting until the only monkeys that were in the room were monkeys that have never been baited with cold water. Never. Now, the experiment showed that the 5 group of monkeys that were left, even though they've never received a shower of cold water in their entire life, they still continued to beat any monkey that is going up the ladder, because their own experience is that any monkey that is going up the ladder gets beaten. And the summary of it is this, that if it was possible to actually sit down and ask these monkeys, please, why are you beating people climbing ladder? What they are going to tell you is, I don't know, this is how we do it. Who can relate with this story in the chat room? What are the things that you do? You don't know, but this is how we do it. Mindset, mind conditioning, environmental relation, dogged way of doing things without asking smart, reasonable action. No risk taking. And as children, that's why I like to use children as examples. A child does not know fear. A child does not know limitation. If you enter a first grade, I have some teachers in here, and you say, how many of you know how to sing? Everybody's hand will be up. They all believe they are Celine Dion. I believe I can fly. Repeat that question. By the time they are 17, 18, how many of you can sing? Hands go down. They've been conditioned over the years. You cannot do it. You know, when I'm having this conversation with people, I often ask them, who told you? Based on what premise? Who put that limitation on your head? Remember, we are talking about finding you, because you got to find yourself. Nobody can find you for you. There's this, I think, Russian man. Please feel free to Google this information after this for you to understand that, honestly, you can fly. And I'm not stroking you up. I'm telling you as it is, because you will find yourself. The guy made up his mind that, and I'll give you like 3 examples. The guy made up, and I speak to adults, I speak to parents, so that we are clear. The guy made up his mind that he was going to produce chess masters. And he had, I think, 4 children. Literally before those children could talk. In fact, before he got married, he was strategic about the person he was getting married to. I will find his name. I'm going to drop it on the chat box when I drop this. It just came to me as an example, so I didn't pick his name for the slide. And his 4 children, summary of the story, 4 girls. By the time the firstborn was age 10, she was already beating him in chess. Those children were playing chess almost in their sleep. Who told you you cannot become? We believe a lot of nonsense. I spoke a bit about Michael Jackson. I know there are some, how will I put it, differing opinions on the parenting style of their father. And that's fine. This is not a parenting class. But I ask people, how many people have been able to produce the kind of stars that that man produced? Maybe there are, no, not maybe, there are better ways of going about those things. The point I'm putting to you is that a number of things you believe in your mind is based on your past experiences, is not who you are. You need to find who you are. The last example I'll give you is the Williams sisters. Serena and her sister, world champions. Go check the way their father raised them up. He made up his mind that these girls will be stars. It got to a stage that the only people that could compete against the Serena sisters were the sisters themselves. Who told you you cannot become? Who told you? Who told you? You need to go and start challenging some faulty thinkings. Because unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, unfortunately, whatever, I put it as unfortunate now. Repetition brings conviction. Over time, you've been told you cannot, stop there, don't go there, don't, and you have put funny leads in your head, barriers, roadblocks that shouldn't be there. Time, Bunmi, I hope you are doing well. So this one, I need answers, like 5 answers. So tell me, what do you love? 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 In the chat room, I need like 5 answers. Okay, I see that. What do you love? I have 1 answer. I need 4 more. Okay, so let me twist the question now. So who do you love? You know, love is, they say love makes the world go round. That's why I like this question, love. Let's talk about love. So who do you love? I've seen what you love. Now, who do you love? Who do you love now? People are afraid, though. Who do you love? Who? We've moved from what to who? Who do you love? Okay. Who do you love? Have love of God, family. Hey, I've gotten the answer I'm looking for. Yes, Lucy. Please, can we shout out to Lucy? Can we shout out to Lucy? I'm happy I got this answer. Lucy says, I'm beginning to love me more. Yeah, same thing with Labisi. And the answers you're giving is, it's okay because, you know, we are doing self-appraisal. Guys, you must learn how to love yourself. You know, we are finding you because you gravitate towards what you love. And that's why I said, you know, this is a very open class. This is one of those classes where we are scratching surfaces. I'm not touching it, I'm scratching surfaces. We've been accustomed to kind of believe that loving ourselves is wrong. Please throw that thing out of. Because how do you improve what you do not love? How do you get better? I tell people it's very okay to be selfish. Love yourself. Know how to say no. Condition, a lot of times I see people giving out of empty spaces. They give, they are spent, they are still giving. It is not correct. This is not the class where I'm breaking this down. As I said, this is, you know, like a abridged class, you know, so I'm just touching things to open up your minds. Then from here, you take it further. But please, self-love. Because if you do not love yourself, you will not find yourself. And when you lose yourself, these people that you claim you love, they will lose you. So your love for them should make you love you. And loving you, because whatever you love, you separate time for it. How much time? Self-love. How much time are you giving to yourself? Things that make you you. Things that bring value to you. And on the extension, it will bring value to your ecosystem, to these people that you love. Please, as in, like, this is multiple classes. This one is symposium topic, but this is the summary. Please find time for you, because as you are finding time for you, you'll be able to break it down. Now, I'm moving. I hope we are getting something in the chat room. Is it? Are we getting something? Are we getting something? Are we getting something? Can I have 2 responses? Because I'm changing gear now. Okay. Gaining clarity. To find yourself, you need some clarity. We've spoken quite a bit about so many things. How do you gain clarity? This is where Stephen comes in. That's why I had to take this class. There's something called purpose. Hey. Mark Twain, for those of us that would like novels. Mark Twain says that there are 2 days to a man's life. The day is born and the day finds out why. Why? Why am I here? Why? That's why, finding your why. Why am I, when purpose is not known, that's by another very awesome man that I admire so much. Is late now, Masmoro. He says, when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. You will think you are doing well, but because you do not understand the purpose for your life, you just assume you're doing well. There are some very funny, I should have looked for those pictures. I think I'll get it. There are some very funny pictures on social media that, please, African abroad, when you are sending things home, kindly put what people are supposed to use it for. Because you see people using toilet cover as plates because they think, can you eat food from it? Yes. But is that the purpose it was manufactured for? Purpose. And it's the same thing with your life. Purpose. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. And it does not matter how well you think you're doing. If you're not moving in purpose, you're just scratching surface. And that is why, you remember those first pictures we looked at? That is why you will feel lost at some certain points. Because it is very okay to be a mother. It's very okay to be a father. And I said these things, and that's why you can't afford to look down on any other person. It's a very stupid thing to do. And you can't afford to compare yourself with any other person. It's a very stupid thing to do. And why I equally like the subject of finding you is that, you know what? There is no to you. You are one, and I'm not psyching you, is the reality. When you understand this reality, your life will change. The way you live your life will change. There is only one Paul Nathan. So why should I struggle to become like Paul Nathan? Because the best I can be is a counterfeit. And the world do not pay much for counterfeits. They pay for original. We are looking for the original. You go to the developed countries, you are looking at the paint, you are wondering, please, why are people paying this plenty money for this paint? They say it is the original. A lot of people have Mona Lisas hanging on their walls. Imitations. The original. It is the original. When you find you, the world will pay premium for you. So why should you bother being like something else? And for you to know the purpose of a thing, I'm sure everybody on this call is guilty of it. How many of us read manuals? When you buy an electronic device, your phone, your laptop, your electric kettle, let's go there. Do you carry the manual and you read it? It's too much stress. Another wise man said, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So we are not used to reading manuals. And we are translating it to our lives, guys. How many of us have taken out time to check, read the manual for your life so that you can understand why you are in this journey called life? Because if you do not understand it, you now start thinking that your heritage is your disadvantage. You start thinking that your making is your disadvantage. People will start telling you, you talk too much, you are too loud. What are all those things they say? You are too short, you are too tall, you are not from this nationality, You are not this. You are not that. And you are conditioned and you are missing out. You know, I'm looking at time here. Stephen, I'll also hand over the baton to you. Growing up, you know, those teenage pressures. There was a time I hated my name. Hey, why would my parents give me this kind of local name, Tumininu? Which kind of name is this? People are bearing Ashley. People are bearing Leslie. You know, having what other people have. Then at some point I say, see, when I go out, I won't tell people that my name is, what kind of name is this? Very local, very local. I'll tell them what's the English fashion. I'll tell them it's comfort. When I found me, I don't care who you are. If I meet Joe Biden today, me, I learned how to pronounce your name. You learn how to pronounce it. Some people are like, this name is complicated. There is nothing complicated about it. Pronounce my name. Repeat after me. Repeat 1, 2, 3. When you find you move with confidence. And you know the thing about confidence, it attracts. You find you. I'm sure that is for someone. Okay, so how do I know this purpose thing? How do I know this purpose thing? And I know that we can't close it out here because people have lots of questions on purpose and I understand that. What you are doing, do you love it? Does the world need it? You get paid for it. You will attract money, you attract value. You're great at it. The center of all of this, Pash, is your purpose. And it doesn't have to be something very bogus. The example I almost always give, if you've been in any of my teachings, you would know it is. What is Mother Teresa known for? Mother Teresa. She was a global name in her time. What was she known for? In the chat room, what was Mother Teresa known for? Oh yeah, now, sharply, people are sleeping. I'm a nice person. What's Mother Teresa known for? Somebody should tell me in the chat room now. Service to humanity. Yeah. Oh yeah, charity. Humility and kindness. Charity. Okay, excellent. If we are going through the chat room, we can see this. You know, I had to, the kind of impact that woman made. And please, guys, you will see it there. You must study great men. It's one of the ways to be great. Go and study great men. I had to sit down and go and check. Is there something about this woman? Is it that she was a great orator or a great this or a great that, or she knows how to sew clothes well? What is it about her that gravitated the world to her, as we said? And she left a footprint in this sand called time. Posterity, eternity cannot forget Mother Teresa. And as we said, she was just a kind person. Charitable. She was just kind. She was just a kind person. And before she died, it became a honor to be Mother Teresa's friend. World leaders were seeking her friendship because if she endorses you, you're endorsed just because you're kind. So it's not until you invent electric cars, you design aeroplane. I try to bring it down like this. What do you want to be known for? We've said all of those things before. Your purpose. Time. You know, we are talking about gaining clarity. Now, same way as people have said their who's, we say treat your life as a business. You cannot miss next month. I'm still taking next month. I have been pushed. People are wanting me to talk, so I'll still speak next month with another amazing speaker. Now, when you see these people, when you see these organizations, and I would say this is a preview to next month, we say treat your life as a business. So this looks like businesses. You become Nike Bamishaye sons and daughters. Yvonne and Co. What is your vision statement? You know, we say, what do people say who you are? Which is your brand? Who are you when you are not in the room? Now you are looking at Harvard. Harvard's vision statement is to develop leaders who would one day make a global difference. What is your own vision statement? And is Harvard not developing leaders that are making global differences? And that's why I spoke about that thing about multiple personality. You cannot be saying this thing and you're doing that thing. Work. Netflix, helping content creators around the world to find a global audience. Are they not doing that? So who you are to what you're doing, it must connect. Microsoft, a computer on every desk and in every home. I'm sure practically all of us. Yeah, Google, to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. 2 times today now, I've told you go and check Google, go and check Google. LinkedIn. Some of my inner caucus, they know where we are on this LinkedIn thing now. To connect the world's professional to make them more productive and successful. What's your vision statement? And it goes on and on and on and on and on. What's your vision statement? As I round up, practical steps to gaining clarity while I hand over to Stephen. Be ready to fail. Be ready to fail. Fear is one of the biggest challenges that we have in clarity. It's okay to fail. Because lots of things have happened over time that has distorted the original thing, your original frame. So you'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, and it's okay. There is nobody, quote me anywhere. And if after this you see, as I told you, I'm a student, I'm learning, please come and tell me. But that I know there's nobody that gets it right the first time. We are all deficient by design. That's why we are humans. And we must accept our frailties and our limitation. It's okay. What is failure after all? It's a learning curve. This one is in capital letter. R-E-A-D. Read. That's what this platform is about. Read. Study. Study. Knowledge will remove shame from you. If you don't want to suffer disgrace in any area of your life, I know I have a global audience, but I'm a Yoruba woman. I'm very proud of my heritage and I expect you to be proud of yours too. There is something my people call Agbaya. Agbaya is an old fool. If you don't want to be stupid in your old age, you need to give time to knowledge. It does not jump on anybody. And that's why we have Stephen here. That's why we are starting this first course with knowing how to read, because a lot of people, and that's why I wanted to take this first, so that you guys be very attentive in a session. That is the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be. Be curious, ask questions. Questions. I don't want to give you too many Yoruba adages, but there is another African adage that says that he that asks questions doesn't get lost. But I put a caveat to it. Follow who no road. And you must know how to ask questions. I was thinking I could go through the 5 whys, but that's story for another day. We can't finish everything in one day now. There's a how to ask questions. That root cause analysis that I told you about in that first slide, there is another how. 5 whys, until you get the root cause of why you are behaving the way you are behaving. Service. Serve great men. I'm telling you. As I said, see, each of these things is symposium topic. In the last quarter, and I'm sure we'll have to do it in this quarter, we took an entire month to study failure. We now had a whole webinar dedicated to it. Now you are saying that we are dedicating a webinar to reading. Each of these is lessons on its own. That's why I said I'm just like opening you up. Service, there's how to serve. There is who to serve. In service, we gain clarity. Everybody is helped by somebody. I tell you, nobody fell from the sky. There's a successor. The Queen of England, we recently lost the Queen of England. And long before she died, she named her successor. There's a naming, you know. There's a naming, guys. There's a naming. Get coaches. They decided to be calling me coach. I cannot talk again. You know? When 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get coaches. There are life coaches. And some of it is, in fact, all of these things, that's why you can connect. It's just common sense. When you want to sing, you get a singing coach. When you want to run, you get a running coach. When the football team wants to do well, they get a football coach. If the football coach is not doing well, they don't sack the members. That's why I don't know why people are giving up on yourself, why people give up on themselves. I don't get it. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just work in progress. You got another coach. But you need to be clear. There are techniques to all of those things. You have to get the right coaches because the wrong coach will not give you the right result. I repeat, the wrong coach will never give you the right result. One thing with coaching, because some people mix it up, but it's getting more clearer now, is people think it's a magic wand, you know, she'll just come or you just come, tell me what to do. If you have a coach, you have a football coach, for instance, who does the training, you must put the hours in training. But they will tell you this is the kind of food you should eat. You cannot do this at this time. You cannot, if you don't follow the rules, you will never get the results. So I tell people that in coaching, like for instance, now, if you did not come for this webinar, you won't know what I've just said. It will not appear to you in your dream in form of angelic manifestation. My daughter, my son, in whom I'm well pleased. This is what you should do. It doesn't happen. Sorry. You put in the work, you put in the hours. And yes, because I know I'm talking to serious-minded people, there are people I tell 15 minutes. You spend at least 1 hour every day. Don't you eat every day? Don't you sleep every day? I have a friend, I think she's more outspoken than I am. She will tell you that you cannot be sleeping as if you are competing with the dead and expect to be relevant in the land of the living. When you are, it's like you are competing with dead people in your sleep. Say, no, it's only one life. Oh. When you not finish sleeping, you not go and spend hours on Netflix. Then when you finish that one, you not carry phone, fruitless conversation. You not finish that one, you not go on, and you're wondering why your life is where it is. Even the life is wondering why you think that it should have moved forward. So these are practical steps to gaining clarity. And thank you. As I said, I found me, so I love my name. My name is Adepoju Tumininu. And thank you. I trust this has been what you are. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. Please let me see your comments in the comment section if this has blessed you. Too many takeaways. My goodness. In fact, Coach was breaking one table right now that thank God she did not go too deep into it before we start crying here. But so much has been said already, but we don't want to waste any more time. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying. I see 34 people in the chat. We celebrate you. Those on Facebook, we hope you are still here with us. We're going right into the next session, and I am so excited to welcome Mr. Stephen. I'm looking forward. In fact, I was looking at his post on Instagram, and he said he will be teaching us how to read 1 to 2 books in a week. I am looking forward to that. And like Coach just said, reading is important. So if you want to know how, please don't go anywhere. Please stay with us. And we are moving right into it. Please join me. Welcome. Let me see that in the chat as we bring on Mr. Steven. Mr. Steven, we're excited to have you. I can't see any comments in the chat. I can't see any excitement in the chat. Are we ready? Do we really want to learn how to do this? Okay, I'm looking forward to it. 2 books a week. Yes, I saw it and I was just like, whoa, 2 books a week. I am in for it. I'm ready. Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Steven, we're welcoming you with a clapping, standing ovation. We are ready to learn. We are ready to go once you are ready. Please let the excitement keep showing in the chat. Please keep showing your excitement in the chat. Go on, go on. Don't stop. Don't stop. Ready, ready, ready. Yes, I'm seeing ready. And everyone is welcoming you, sir, to the platform. Whoa, Mr. Steven is here. Welcome, welcome, sir. So good to have you. You have the floor, sir. Oh, we can't hear you, sir. I think your mic is muted.
Okay,
Okay, yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very, very loud and clear, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, I would like to say a big thank you to Mrs. Tumininu for bringing me up here. It's really been a pleasure. The great work she's doing with Read and is quite remarkable, and I must say that it's quite rare. The sheer zeal, the sheer intentionality she puts into the work she's doing at Read NGR is quite remarkable, and I really celebrate her for that. And also to our amazing anchor for today, Bunmi Okesola. Did I get that pronunciation right? Is it Sola or Shola? I have, please.
It's Shola, sir.
Okay,
Shola.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Thank you. So
No problem.
I was following up on the first session with a first speaker, and it's been quite remarkable. I hope you got something out of that. I really picked that point. The last one of the quotes she mentioned, that you cannot be competing, sleeping as competing with the dead, and still be relevant under the living. That's quite hilarious, but very true. It's scored in me, and that follows up with a lot of lessons too that I've learned from this short session with her. All right. So once again, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to say a big thank you to the host for bringing me here, and to say thank you to every one of you who is also joining us live. It's a Saturday, yes, but you would have been partying somewhere. You would have been in an O1 bear, or maybe in a game house or something. But hey, you made the choice to be at this place today to increase your worth, your personal value, and to put knowledge into your head to give you more leverage in life. And I must commend you for that. So without much ado, what I'm going to be sharing with you this afternoon, it's quite straight to the point, but then I trust that you will be able to make good use of what I'll be sharing. The actionable tips. It's basically about reading, and this is something I find fascinating, because reading, I didn't see it as a strength until I later found out how many people were struggling to do it, right? Let me don't beat the gun. I have a slide, and then I will speak through the slides, all right? So please, Anchor, let me know if when my screen, I'm about to share my screen now. I don't know, okay. Let me know if it's visible, when it's visible rather. Is it visible now? Is it clear?
Yes, it's visible. Yes, it is.
Okay, excellent. So
okay, sorry, sir, but it's okay. Yes, it's better now.
Oh, I was just gonna. Okay, does this work now? Is it okay now? Is it something we can do? I mean, let me just put it on presenter mode.
Yes, I think that would be better.
Presenter mode. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, very well.
Okay. So I'll be sharing today on reading your way to possibilities. And when I was told about this topic, one of the first things that came to mind was my journey over the last many years of my life. I just clocked 30th September, and looking back at trajectory, looking back at how much has happened throughout that period, I owe a lot to knowledge I've been to gain from the books I've read, from the encounters I've had with mentors, and some of the lessons or the actionable points that books or actionable tips that books have helped me glean over the years. I would always say that there were some things I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have even known to do if I did not find it in a book, right? And there are lots of people like that too, big names that have always testified to the fact that their biggest moments or their aha moments, things that brought them real breakthroughs in business, in life, in their marriages, happened when they were in the middle of the book. And I find that fascinating, because if these people could say this much about reading, then why then do other people trivialize reading, right? Why does it have to sound like something that is only it's only allocated to maybe geeks, nerds, and all of that? There's a name other people give to people who love books. They call them bookworms and all that. And I'm like, no. So long as you need knowledge, to thrive in this world where we are, because we're one in the knowledge economy, not just in the economic sense. When you want to thrive with the locals in, your community and all of that, you need a specific level of knowledge about yourself, number one, and that's what our first speaker just mentioned. Knowing yourself, knowing where you are, knowing your purpose in that community, and even understanding the way the community works and the power structure there, the other people there, and how you relate with them. So it's a whole lot of things to piece together. The underlying basis is knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, there is no basis for understanding. If you don't have understanding, there is no basis for living life. If you cannot live life to the fullest, then you might end up being one of those people who, at the end of their life, they look back and they were empty and they were filled with regret. I know that won't be for you, and which is why I really applaud you for being here this afternoon. Okay? Now, reading your way to possibilities. These are one of few of the things I'll be showing you in this session. I'll show you how to kill your fears. I'll show you how to become an apprentice. I'll show you how to develop a reading habit. I'll help you to find the right books, and then I'll share a few extra tips with you. If you are excited, let me know in the comments. I think I'm able to see the chats from here. If you're excited, let me know in the comments. Of course, I'm seeing Emmanuel, the fire emoji. Exactly. Let's keep them coming, please. Let's keep them coming. All right. Yeah. So these are some things I'll be showing you, and if time permits me, I'll add a few, but then these are the core points I'll be sharing with you. But first, let me share a story that dates back to some years back, actually. I was reading one evening, a Tuesday evening. I had just broken a fast, and I was just taking some fruits and then sipping, hot tea and all, and I was reading a book. Then I encountered a word I did not understand. I didn't know that word. It happens once in a while, but depending on what I'm reading, I stumble on words that I don't know. So I went online, I picked up my phone to check my phone's dictionary. And that was when I saw an email notification dot. It's like, okay, an email from who? And the heading of the title of the email was, "Please help me." And I was like, okay, this could be one of those scammers again online that found my email and all that, and he's trying to out. And then the body of the email, I was expecting to hear those things they put whenever they are coming to you to ask for arms and all that, strangers. But then this was different. This guy was a mid-level executive, Chijoke now, a mid-level executive in one of the good financial institutions in Nigeria. And one of the things he was struggling with at that point in time when he was emailing me, he was on the verge of getting kicked out of a very prestigious mentorship program. I'll give you full details. Now, this program was structured in such a way that it's a program for 6 months, right? And then the first 4 months, they will use it in, the first 4 months is for theory. They'll get to read up on a lot of things, Zoom session, all that, because I think it was in the middle of the pandemic at the time, and the lockdown rather. And then the last 2 months, they're using it for some practical works and all. And this is a highly prestigious mentorship program, like I said. The person who is going to be mentoring them is a renowned expert, globally renowned expert, and he only picks 10 people to mentor in a year. Chijioke was reaching out to me at the time when he was almost getting kicked out of the mentorship program. Why? Because he couldn't keep up with the reading assignments. It's a very tedious program. They were going to be reading 1 book a week. And at the end of the week, they were going to settle in a Zoom meeting, discuss about the ideas they've learned from the book and all that. And, in that kind of situation, there is no way you can fake it. If you have not read the book, right? If you have not read the book, there is no way you can fake that you have actually read the book when you haven't read it. It will show. And that was what happened to Chijioke. He was on the verge of getting kicked out because it was very clear that he hadn't been following assignment, and they had given him the warning, and he was like, okay, look, I'm a busy executive, this is what I have going on for me, I will not be able to keep up, but then I will not forgive myself if for any reason I find myself getting kicked out of this program. I won't forgive myself. I felt for him, really, because how could you have made it that far? A program that is only meant for 10 people, and this is not just for Nigeria, this is globally, right? You've competed with people from Asia, or other parts of Africa, Europe, South America, and then you're here, and then you're about getting kicked out because you are too lazy to read. But then I found out that it wasn't laziness. Chijioke wasn't suffering from laziness, he wasn't indisciplined, rather. It was just a problem of habits. He hadn't habitualized reading as a culture, and that was his challenge. So, in the few weeks that I walked him through a process that ultimately led him to reading 1 book a week, and then after that, we upped it up from there. It was kind of how will I put it now? It's more like it sounded more like a therapy process, right? Where we had to dig up on a backlog of things, where he was forced to read things he doesn't like back in secondary school, and now he hates reading completely, and all that. But after a while, we got a hang of it and he was good to go. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the reason why you are not reading books is not because you are lazy. It's not because you are indisciplined. You just lack the right systems. There's this saying in one of his books by Dr. John Maxwell, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. He was someone else. He was saying that good systems enable ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Whereas without the system, even extraordinary people will fail at ordinary things. And that was when it struck me that the secret to engaging, the secret to developing a consistent reading culture is not the level of discipline you have. It's not even the level of your willpower. Of course, these things will play a role, but then it has a lot to do with your identity, how you see yourself, number one, and it has a lot to do with your goal. It has a lot to do with how you see yourself, like I said. It has a lot to do with the goals you have set for yourself. And of course, it has a lot to do with, I'm finding the right words for it. It has a lot to do with where you see yourself going. Depends on the destination you see yourself going. If you see yourself going very far, you will make every investment today to make sure that you get that far. There's this saying that your life will be cheap. Your life will be cheap if you think investing in yourself is expensive. I'm going to revisit this much later in this presentation. Okay, now, when we worked with Chijioke, and these are some of the things I shared with him that got him from 0 to one of the best graduating cohorts or members of his cohort at the time, because after that email and all that, we exchanged chats, we spoke, and At the end of the day, he ended up becoming one of the best, I think the best graduating set in a member of his cohorts. Now, let's go to finding your facing your fears now. And fears, F-E-A-R-S, meaning false excuses appearing real. False excuses appearing real. And these are some of the reasons why people do not read books. These are some of the reasons people give, the obvious reasons, right? When I ask people, what haven't you read? How many books have you read this year? And then they say, and now I'm not so much about the number of books you read. I just use that as a, as a baseline to ask some questions. And then they tell me, no, I've not been able to read because I don't have time to read. I think this is one of these ones I've listed out here are the most frequently used excuses why people do not read. Number one, I don't have time to read books. Number two, reading is boring. Number three, I can't find the right books to read. Some will even say books cost a fortune. They are too expensive. Some will say, I can't concentrate. My mind keeps drifting. I have too many engagements. I have kids, I have family and all that. And some will say, look, I don't even need books altogether. I'm fine with articles. When I read one or two articles and I watch one or two YouTube videos, I'm good. I'm good to go, and I don't even need books. Now, all of these excuses sound very legit. They sound very cogent, right? In fact, I wouldn't dare to challenge the cogency of your excuse, at least from your own perspective. If you have a kid or you have kids, you have a family, that's a very cogent excuse to not read books. I know, but what's the opportunity cost, right? Life will not say that, oh, you have a very busy family, we will exonerate you, will let you rise without knowledge. It doesn't work like that. The rules are there. You have to subscribe to them. Okay? So if you're going to make reading a part of your life, then you will have to look out these excuses and find a way to circumvent, remove, or even, find a way around of these excuses. Now let's start with I don't have time to read books. People who say they don't have time to read books. So to those people, I say, and these are some of the things that Chijioke told me at the time. He was using this as a very strong excuse. I don't have time to read books. I told him that time isn't his problem. Reading is not yet his priority. And so when you make reading a priority, you will make the time. No apologies, really. Whatever is a priority to you, you will make the time. Nobody, I can tell you, nobody is too busy not to eat. Nobody is too busy not to find time for the things that they love doing. Nobody is too busy not to find time to use the convenience. Now I know someone might say, okay, yeah, but these are things that are tending on to modern nature and all that. But yes, if you find something as valuable, if you find something to be important, include it in your schedule, and you will make it a pretty in your life. Now to the second excuse. Reading is boring. People say reading is boring. And then I say, growing up, most of us were forced to read boring books. And that's true. That's true. I was forced to read boring books. And at some point, I hated reading altogether. Why? Because I started generalizing that reading is boring and all that at some point in my life, but I had to change, right? But so we grow up equating reading with boredom, right? But reading is not boring. Some books are boring. So you can start the healing process by reading books that interest you before you now move into books that would benefit you, right? They say that one of the secrets to start reading, to develop a reading culture, is to first read what you love until you love reading. The important is to develop the habit first before you now move into things. Now, the reason why you have to develop a reading habit, because a reading habit is a gateway habit. It opens you to a whole lot of other opportunities. Imagine for the start now that most of you don't understand English, right? This webinar, the first speaker spoke in English language. I'm the second speaker, I'm speaking in English language. The host is speaking in English language. Imagine if at the bottom line, at the base, you don't understand English language. How will all of these things I'm going to be sharing, and how will all of these things that the first speaker have shared make sense to you? So from the foundation already, you will see that you are disadvantaged. So meaning that if you don't inculcate a reading culture, you won't have the ability to access the billions and the billions of volumes of knowledge that is required for you to, and you don't really need much to succeed anyway. I'm just saying that there's a large pool of knowledge to pick from, piece together your life, heaven on earth. But if you don't even have that ability to do that in the first place, you are handicapped, right? Imagine having somebody, imagine having, okay, now this is no shade to people with disabilities. And that's why we have systems of advantage that gives them, wheelchairs, crutches, and all of that. Now, but imagine if there were no wheelchairs. Imagine if there were no crutches. Imagine if there was no other system to help people whose legs are impaired. How would they move around? So if you don't have a reading habit, if you don't have a reading culture, you are impaired, right? From your ability to get knowledge from the various sources that will make your life heaven on earth. So to the third point, I can't find the right books to read. Now you have to define what you want to learn, then look for the successful people in that sphere. I'm breaking these excuses and I'm giving you antidotes to them now, okay? If you if you think you can't find the right books to read, define what you want to learn, then look for the most successful people in those areas, in those fields, find their books, or ask someone who is doing well in that field to recommend books for you. Got it? Books cost a fortune. That's number 4. Books cost a fortune. What would you do with this excuse? The best way I counter this excuse is that good books are expensive. But now this is where libraries and digital repositories come into play. Why? They are still brick and mortar, there are still brick and mortar digital libraries that offer you access to downloads of books for a small fee. More on this later. I'll talk about this later. Okay, right? So this books cost a fortune is no longer an excuse, right? If you have the money, but my goodness, wouldn't you invest in books? If you have the money to buy, why don't you invest in them? I was watching a YouTube video some time back, and then the lady who was giving the commentary was like, "Your life is cheap because you think investing in yourself is expensive." That stung, really. And that's the reality for most people today. Their lives are cheap because they believe that investing in themselves is expensive. If you buy a book, you are not just buying ink and pulp. You are buying something that will save you decades of your life. You are buying somebody's 20 years put in one. The lessons that took somebody 20 years to learn, they've packaged it and you can read it in 1 week and escape mistakes that would cost you more years on your growth journey. So if you are investing in books, you are not just investing in income pulp. You are investing in is a time redemption strategy, right? It's something that saves you because you have only one life. And if you are learning, if you're learning from your experience alone, you're not a wise person. Why do we have books everywhere? Many people have gone through the things you are going through or will go through. So why don't you use their lives as a mirror and learn from them so that when you get there, you don't get to repeat the same mistakes they have made and waste time too, right? So reading is a form of leverage, okay? If you're getting me, if you're understanding this, let me see the likes in the comments. Let me see the emoji in the comment. Let me know that you're following, okay? Now, to the 5th point, I think. Yeah, the 5th point. Someone say, I can't concentrate. My mind keeps drifting. Okay, if you can't concentrate when reading, I would say that get a place conducive to reading. Get a place that is conducive to reading. Choose a convenient time when you are less likely to be disturbed. Yes, I know you're a very busy person. I know that you have a lot going on for you. But if you want to make reading a priority, you will have to make it a priority. Get a conducive place for reading. Choose a convenient time when you are less likely to be disturbed. Usually I recommend the morning hours, those 4, 5, 4 o'clock, 4:30, depending on how you work and how your lifestyle is. But when you wake way before the normal world works, you won't start getting calls at that time that will distract you, okay? It's less likely that you get those kind of calls. So get up early, tune out distractions, and play non-lyrical music to aid your concentration. These are my headpiece. Whenever I'm reading a book, I strap this on. And then when that non-lyrical music is playing, it doesn't have to have voices. It just have to be slow playing sounds that, that conditions my mind for deep concentration. And then I read. I shut out the world and do that book. Okay, now to the last, I don't need books. I can read articles online. Now, I hear people say this, right? I hear a lot of people say this, and I'm shocked, really. I'm shocked because, articles, videos, and all of that, they give you knowledge. That's true. But they are only means for research. Meaning that if you're reading a book and you find something that you have not really, the author didn't go deep into, you can use articles and videos to dig in deeper. They are not meant to be the main dish in a 3-course meal. Articles and videos, YouTube videos, podcasts. Imagine reading as a 3-course meal. There's the appetizer, there's the main dish, and there's the dessert, right? Most people what they should be using as dessert they are switching the dessert with the main dish. Whereas articles and videos are supposed to be dessert. By the time you're done reading, taking the main dish, then you use them to do extra research. But most people are switching it. They are feeding on dessert, switching dessert for the main course of the meal, and they even throw the main meal aside. And we know dietitians will tell you that nobody grows healthily on dessert. Nobody grows healthily on appetizers. You need the main dish. Books are the main dish. Okay? Am I saying that articles and videos are wrong? No, I'm only giving them their rightful place, right? But they serve you knowledge in bits and pieces. That's what I'm saying. They only serve you knowledge in scattered bits and pieces. Imagine a waiter serving you fried rice in a restaurant by tossing the grains on the floor and expect you to pick it one at a time like eating. What would you call that kind of person? That's what when you base the majority of your source on articles and videos alone. You're like a pigeon picking rice from the ground, one step at a time. Okay? Whereas books give you the main dish, they stratify this knowledge and put it in a coordinated manner that will aid your understanding. That's the knowledge, that's the advantage of books. All right? Books serve you information in a structured whole, and structure aids learning. Okay? Right. So let's quickly rush through this, and then I will get to, I hope I will do justice to this. I understand that many of you, by now I should understand that you know the importance of reading, but then I wouldn't want to make that assumption, because most people know that reading is important, but they don't understand the real importance of reading. And I'm going to run through a few of them to you. Okay, reading is important, yes, but then there are some things that are some hidden intricate details that reading does to you, or some things that reading does to you that you don't even know about. Okay, and I'm just going to run through some of them quickly. Okay, reading buys you time and saves you costly mistakes. I mentioned that earlier, right? As you live, it helps you live multiple lifetimes in one. By the time you're able to read a biography of, say, Benjamin Franklin, or you read the biography of somebody like Bill Clinton or Obasanjo, or somebody in your field, anybody, right? If you're in business, you read maybe the biography of Bill Gates, of Warren Buffett. You are able to live multiple lifetimes in one, because you are seeing their lives. It's like you are in the movie. You've entered into their lives and you are taking the journey of them. Of course, that's not all of it, but then for a good number of, because the most important things is what they have put there for you to learn. Those things are written for you to learn so that you don't repeat their mistakes. And even where they have done well, you can even surpass them. Okay. So number 3, reading stimulates your brain. Yes. Reading improves your memory. It decreases conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia, right? You can see now. So you're less likely to start forgetting things when you grow old if you have actually been exercising your brain over the years through reading. Reading helps you when you travel into the world of other people through reading, right? You'll be able to unravel parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. Your mental and your, how do I put it now? Your mental acuity, I mean, your self-awareness becomes, it sharpens up. The first speaker was talking about knowing yourself, how to know you, finding you. In the course of your mental faculties will interact with some authors that share similar beliefs with you. And that's where many people have found themselves, really. Elon Musk found his desire for space exploration when he was reading a book. Funnily enough, absolutely true. You can go research it. All of this space and all of these things he's doing today, the big stuff he's doing with SpaceX and all that, actually was an idea he got from a book. The biggest lessons you get from a book are not just the lessons that are written in the book in ink and pulp. Is the lessons that come out or the product of what comes out of the book colliding with your personal experience, a new idea is born. That's the aha moment, right? You could just be reading a book on a novel, and then you see the character treated her teenager going wayward. And then, oh my goodness, you realize that you have a teenager, or you know somebody who is having a teenager who is on the verge of, on the verge of a crisis. And you can use that knowledge to salvage the situation. Okay? Reading enhances your written and verbal skills. Absolutely true. The more you're able to read, the more your word, your word bank, that's what we call it, your word bank. Your word bank. You have a larger word bank, and you can play around with words. Why? Because you have the knowledge. You even know the rules of writing because you have internalized them, and you can even break the rules when you wish. Okay? Now, reading enhances your vocabulary. It's similar to what I just said now, right? Your vocabulary, it gives you a wide range of words with which you can express yourself. And as we know it, if you can express yourself, the guy who can express himself best is considered to be the leader in the room. Whereas the guy who is short of the vastness of vocabulary, who cannot express himself to the hearing of the audience or to inspire action from the audience, is considered the follower. So reading gives you an edge, a leadership edge. All right. So reading also relieves stress. Absolutely. This works for me a lot. By the time I'm stressed from the day, I just dig into a novel, a memoir, or maybe even a self-help book, and my stress fuses away. This has helped me, can help you too. As humans get more distracted, attention and focus will be among the most valuable commodities on earth, meaning that reading helps you, stretches your attention span. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The more you can stay with a book, that skill you are building is transferable to other aspects of your life too. So if you can stay with a 400-page book, if you can stay with a 200-page book, that ability gets transferred to real-life projects, meaning you are more likely to stay longer with projects. You are more likely to stay longer in relationships. This is what studies has found, though. It's not me talking now. You're more likely to stay longer in things that, not necessarily staying longer in them just for the sake of staying long. It's your ability to hold on to commitments in real life situations. It's your ability to keep your word. It's your ability to stick to things till they produce results for you. If you're getting these lessons, let me know in the comments. Okay? Let me know in the comments if you are getting value from this session. Please let me know in the comments. I would like to see your feedback. Okay? I would really love to see your feedback. Let me know in the comments. If you're getting value from this session, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that you're getting so much value here. I'd like you to put it in the comments. Let me know. And I hope you're also writing, and I hope you're not getting distracted too. Okay? Because this is not the kind of session you should be and be multitasking at the same time. No, you won't get the full benefits. Okay? Good. All right. So reading relieves stress. As humans get more distracted, people who can read will be able to stay longer. the attention span will be able to still, because if you expose yourself to too much, the frenzy that comes with too much consumption of social media, notice my choice of words, too much consumption of social media. Social media is like an ocean that you should use as like a sailor and find your way in the grand scheme of things. But when you allow that to consume you, like the ocean enters you, you are in the ocean and the ocean enters you, you sink to the bottom, it carries you. Whereas you're supposed to be on top of it, telling your ship, the ship of your life, okay? So reading helps you minimize distraction and you focus on the things that matter. You're able to stay longer with the things that matter. And last but not the least, reading boosts your creativity. Yes, what is creativity? Putting one or two things that had no prior connection, no prior visible connection, putting them together and making sense out of them. That's basically what creativity is. Not, you're not really necessarily, some people are born with it, yes, but it's a muscle that can be trained. And one of the ways to train your creativity is by reading quality books. Reading excellent works of fiction makes you creative and sharpens your imaginative prowess. How many of you have read a novel before? And when you are reading the novel, you already have a picture of the main character, what this main character looks like. When they describe a house, you already have a picture in your mind. If you've noticed this, if you've experienced this, please put it in the comment. You are reading a book, but the main character, you don't even know the person. You just, from the name, you are able to you've attached a face to them. The street where they live and all of that, you have built the whole empire in your mind, right? The way the structure looks like, the way her dress looks like, you have built everything. Yes, and that is what reading is supposed to do. It stretches your creativity and helps you make sense of the abstract world, right? And this is what movies can't give you, right? Never judge a book by its movie, okay? I know many books have been converted into movies, but I advise people, before you watch the movie, know whether it has a book. Then leave the movie, go back to the book first. Read the book before you come back to the movie. Okay, that's by the way anyway. So these are some of the benefits of reading. Okay, if you're getting value, let me know that in the comments. Okay, I'm seeing excellent. Olabisi Victoria is saying imagination. Absolutely, absolutely. The movie is always an abridged version. Absolutely, Bunmi. Absolutely, because lots of the details are lost in the movie. Check out Lord of the Rings, for instance. If you read the book and you watch the movie, you'll be like, wow, what did I just do to myself, right? Okay, so let's quickly move on. Now, one of the things I taught Chijioke was that he had to develop a mindset of an apprentice. Before you are able to develop a reading culture, it doesn't just start with tips and tricks. Okay, put books close to you when you're about to sleep so that you're more likely to read. Fill your cabinet with books. Make sure that you have books around you, the ebooks around you all the time, and all those are tips and tricks. Yeah, help. It's true, they help. But if you have the identity of a reader, and that's why we are going to be talking about becoming an apprentice, it's very important, because if you don't have the identity, the mental acuity of a reader, of somebody who is attuned to learn from life, you won't find reading as something necessary. Right? Please let me know my time frame here. Let me just, so that I can stick with the time frame, okay? Let me know that, so that I'm not overshooting.
I sent you a message, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it's
okay. Okay, what is that on the chat now? Is that on the this call or somewhere?
Yes, on this call. Yes, on this call on Zoom.
Okay. Quickly look at that. Okay. So I'll quickly rush through this. All right. So how do you become an apprentice? Becoming an apprentice is like, if you surround yourself with books and you say that will make me read, it's like putting a lion amidst grasses and say, If the lion is amidst grasses, it will eat grass. No, it will not work. Okay, that identity of a reader, of an apprentice, has to be there. Now, you have to decide to become a reader. That's number one. Decide to become someone who is willing to learn from life. Number two, decide why you want to become a reader. Why do I want to do this? Who do I want to become? Let's say you are in business and you say, I want to become one of the best, one of the most top of mind brands in the fashion industry. Then you begin to read about fashion gurus, Angela Galasso, Mary Kay, and a whole lot of people in that industry. You start to read about them because the end goal is already in mind. Now, thirdly, you have to prove it to yourself every day by reading, no matter how little. Our first speaker made a statement that really struck me. She said that identity is formed by habit. Identity is formed by iteration, by repetition. So you're not just going to make yourself a reader in one day. No, I consider myself to be a writer because there are many things in my life that give validation to that identity. I've won several writing awards, right? I write every day. I've written over 3,000 articles, meaning that it's glued to my subconscious that I'm a writer. So if you want to be a reader or somebody who reads books, you have to do it by iteration long enough for that identity to stick. Okay? So I'm going to run through this, and then these are some of the questions you should ask yourself when you want to become an apprentice or you want to become somebody who reads. What do I want to accomplish? I just gave you an example now. Find your industry. Where are you? Where are you right now in life? What is the next step? What do you want to take? Why do I want to accomplish this? Because you need to have a strong why to propel you forward. There's a saying that the weapons you take into battle are not as important as your reason for going into battle. Okay, I'll take that again. The weapons you take into battle are not as important as your reason for going into battle. So you have to have a strong why. Why do I want to read? Okay, so who do I need to become to accomplish this? Who do you need to become to accomplish a consistent reading culture? You have to become somebody who reads consistently, no matter how little every day. You don't have to read 100 or 50 pages every day. No, as little as 5 or 10 pages does it. So long as you keep doing that habit by iteration, you're forming the identity of a reader. Lastly, what values must embrace? One of the values you must embrace as somebody who will develop a reading culture is that you must develop curiosity, knowledge, curiosity. You have to develop that virtue. You have to develop the ability to read, to see books that you love and actually pick them up and read them. Because intention is one thing, action is another. Okay? So, developing a reading culture. This is the meat of the issue. I'm going to run through this within the few minutes that I have, and then I'll take in a few questions, okay? How do you develop a reading culture? This is how habit works. I'll just take you through this quickly. In his book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, there are other books that have talked about this too. That's The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, and a few other habits too in psychology, inside other books on psychology and habit formation. So the first thing that happens is in the habit formation cycle is that there has to be a cue. Once you have a cue, you know what to do with a cue. For instance, let's say your phone vibrates twice in your pocket. That's a cue. What's the thing? The cue tells you that there's a message already. What's the craving? You are craving novelty. You want to see what's new. Did somebody like my Instagram post? Oh my God, how well is my Facebook post doing? Did somebody send me? Is it even credit alert? You get, so you want to know what's up, right? Now, your response is that you dip your hand into your pocket or your bag and you pick out that phone to see the notification. And what is your reward? When it's credit alert, you shout hallelujah if it's credit alert. If it's what now? If it's people, or maybe if it's more posts or more people looking at your Instagram post and all that, fine. You get that feeling of being seen and that visibility. So this applies to reading too, right? One of the 4 questions you have to ask when you want to form a reading habit. How can you make reading obvious? That's the key, because a cue has to be obvious. How can you make reading attractive? Make it attractive in such a way that you start to build a craving for it. How can you make reading easy? How can you make reading easy? Because you need a response to the craving. So how can you make reading easy, right? How can you make reading rewarding? Or how can you make reading satisfying? By using reward structures. One of the ways to do this is this. How to make reading obvious. Set clear intentions, like I said earlier. Whatever industry you find yourself, what goal do you want to achieve? Identify it and stick to that. Establish the where and the when. You see this picture of me sitting in my workplace, in my workstation reading. Yes, there has to be, this is my dedicated spot for reading. So when you want to start a habit, you can freestyle when you want to, when you have the habit already. But when you're starting out, find a specific and a specific time. It's very important. Your brain has to be able to make that correlation between a specific place and a specific time. There are some songs, when I listen to them, I'm already primed for reading mode. Okay? So sandwich reading between your established routines. What do you do after waking up? The first thing you do, for most people, they meditate, they pray. For some people, they exercise. So find a way to put reading in between your morning routine. And this is an advice for somebody here. If you don't have a structured morning routine, it's time to get one. Craft out something that could be, predictable, to make your day predictable. So you can slot reading into it, right? You can say, I'm going to read before breakfast, after breakfast. Just find something you do more often and slot reading into that portion, okay? Keep your books where you can see them. Absolutely, very important. Your books have to be somewhere you can see them. Why? Because the more you make eye contact with them, I wish you could see my workstation. Right? This is my library of books here. There are books on my workstation, books I'm currently reading, others I'm done with. Books are all around me, so it primes me to read. Once you form the identity of a reader, it is easier to take up books when you find them around your surrounding, okay? Now, how to make reading attractive. Match your reading goals with something you find pleasurable. For instance, if you're going to be reading a book that already has a movie released, then make watching the movie the reward for reading that book. Okay? An example, maybe you've not watched Lord of the Rings. So you now read the book. Once you're done reading the book, you go watch the movie. Use that as a reward. Find what works for you. If you finish a book, you can take yourself for outing, for pizza break, or something that you know that you find interesting. Okay? And just make it pleasurable. Use reward systems. Okay? Leverage the power of communities too. Make reading attractive, because when you are in a community of people that find reading attractive, to be part of that community, you are going to have a sense of belonging when you can do what that community does all the time, which is reading. Okay? Very important. How to make reading easy. Have a familiar reading spot. I just mentioned that. Turn off distractions. Play non-lyrical music with your headset or your earpiece. Leverage idle time. Those times you're waiting on the queue at the ATM or in the bus station, or you're taking a flight and all that. Use that time to read, okay? And also use audiobooks too. You mustn't always have to do with the actual books themselves, paper books. You can use audiobooks. Just listen to them while you're exercising. Some people finish 3 chapters in a day just by listening, okay? So very important. You can use audiobooks too. Keeping it handy means that the books has to be around you, or be an audio version or an electronic version that you can easily access whenever you want to use it. Use the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule says that if you are finding it difficult to do something, then allocate just the first 2 minutes and just start doing it. No questions asked. Just pick up your book, open it to where you stopped, and just start reading for 2 minutes. Just do it for 2 minutes. Chances are that when you start doing it for 2 minutes, you are going to stretch into 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 20 minutes. You're going to like it at the end of the day. Okay? Now, how to make reading satisfying. Read what you love until you love reading. Use a habit tracker. Okay? Whenever I want to form a new habit for myself, I use a 30-day habit tracker. I do it today, I mark it. Do it tomorrow, mark it. The next day, mark it. That way I'm able to create a streak of consistency. Helps me build that habit. You can do the same for yourself. Get an accountability partner or group. That's the last point here. When you're in an accountability group, you are more likely to read. I know of some accountability groups that charge themselves up to 7,000 naira, no, 15,000 naira when they don't read in a day. So if you don't read for a week, 15K times 7 days in a week. That's how much you're going to remit. So I'm not asking you to go and join those kind of groups. So I'm just saying that get a group that will hold you consistent, that will hold you accountable rather. Okay. So finding the right books. You can use 3 ways or 4 ways to find the right books to read. Get recommendations from mentors and friends, book review sites. There are several book review sites I can recommend. Newsletters. I am subscribed to several newsletters by some very witty authors, and there is recommend books for me to read, and I even go to read them, and online communities too. If you are in a book club or a readers club like Read NGR now, right? And they give a book of the month. Chances are that before Mrs. Tumininu comes out to recommend a book, she has done her homework. She understands what the value of the book to you. And then, you can get book recommendations from there. All right. So what should you put in your reading list? Fiction should be there because you need fun. Self-help is important because you need all the help. Faith-based literature is there because your soul needs nourishment. Biographies and memoirs need to be on your reading list because you deserve to live many lifetimes in one. Blockchain, Web3, and the metaverse or the Internet of Things. You need to read books on that too because we're in the future. All right. So just before I won't be able to go into reading slumps now because I know that I'm totally out of time right now, but I'll just leave that for the question and answer session. Over to you, beloved Anchor, Oluwabumi.
Oh, well, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? This has been so loaded. People, don't you just love reading right now? And the way Mr. Steven packaged it, the way he packaged it, the way he's talking about it, you can see the passion in his voice. You can see, and it's just like the way some of us talk about our husband, the way we talk about the things we really love doing. But really, thank you so much, sir, for the value. Like, I got so much. My book is full. I just kept writing, and I'm sure we have a lot of questions. So before, I start engaging our speakers for tonight, for this afternoon, for the amazing work they've done with the topics they've handled, I just want to put it out here that please drop your questions in the chat. I'm sure you have questions. You've heard so much. We have heard so much. And I know there are a lot of us that have issues with, reading. And as I was speaking, I was like, hey, we're struggling to read one book a month, and it feels as if like one book. Coach would be like, one book. I was tempted to give you people 2, and you are still struggling with one. And we've gotten all the tips and all of that, but please, if you have questions, kindly drop it in the chat. See, questions are one way to really get the juice out of whatever you have heard. If you have questions in your heart, things you are not clear about, these are experts in this field, and really they can address those questions. So please drop your questions in the chat. We'll be taking that immediately. We don't have so much time, so we might just be able to take a few questions. So please quickly drop your chat. Exactly. Okay, thank you so much, Yvonne. I see one question already. I don't know, Kike, if you can help me spotlight Coach and Mr. Steven for the question and answer session. If you can help me do that so that we can have both of them on board and we can really see them and interact with them. So yes, there's a question for you here, Mr. Steven. Please, not just for Mr. Steven, also for Coach. All the questions you have about identity, finding you. She has said a lot about finding you. Identity. See, if there is a major problem in the world, it is identity crisis. A lot of people are dealing with, a lot of adults are dealing with identity crisis. It's a major issue. And please, if you have questions in your heart, please drop it. So I would be directing this straight to Mr. Steven. And also, those in the Facebook community, please, we are looking at the chats. Please drop your questions. We'll be taking them shortly. So yeah, this is for you, Mr. Steven. How do you deal with this is from Yvonne. Yvonne, thank you so much for dropping this. How do you deal with the input-output glutes when you feel bloated of taking in so much information and not expending them at the same rate? Wow, this is a very great question. So, Mr. Stephen, this is for you. Yvonne is asking, when you have too much, is the knowledge decayed, and sometimes you know you are taking in so much and application now becomes a problem. How do you deal with that? How do you work with that?
Okay, I think, okay, have you clarified that? Is it, can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Now, in one of my sessions last few weeks ago, rather, I talking about the fact that reading is a minefield, and there are several dangers to reading too, right? And it's important for us to know that one of the dangers of reading is that reading can be procrastination in disguise. Okay, I'm sure you're able to, if you've had a session, if you've had your own time with, if you've fed on knowledge and all that, you would know that at some point reading can be procrastination in disguise. Why do I say this? You know, you are doing well when you read to learn and you practice what you know, right? But otherwise, reading can be procrastination in disguise if it can get you obese with information and cannot even move a finger, right? But then reading is not the only thing you need in your success journey. You need action. There are several other variables in this equation, and that's what you need: action. Now, I've read hundreds of books on I've read several books on several subjects, but the most significant impact came from practicing what I read consistently. And this is one of the things I do. How do I know what to pick out of a book to practice? I read with a note by my side. When I'm reading, or maybe even with my notepad or my phone, when an idea from a book drops, I jot down the actionable points that I'm going to take that day or that week. Something I'm going to start doing immediately. When I started writing online in 2017, it was I got from a book, right? I think the book I took 10 ways to become a writer or something like that. I can't even remember your title. But there and then I decided that I'm going to be putting out my writing. I'm going to build publicly. And I started putting out my content. Then I wasn't even on social media, right? I wasn't even on Facebook. I wasn't on Twitter. I was on LinkedIn. I wasn't on Instagram, none, right? But right there and then. So get a book as you are reading, be jotting down the actionable points. Like I said earlier, some of the biggest lessons you get from a book are not necessarily what the author is saying. It is when what the author is saying collides with your personal experience, a new idea is born. Right? And that's what you should jot down and go right. For instance, the author could be talking about how he started his restaurant business, but you're in the fashion business. Something they did in their own industry could be related with your own industry too. So it's not necessarily word for word, but then you just pick it out. But the important thing, write it down because it escapes. The idea, write it down and give yourself a timeline within which you should act on it, because the secret of success that I've known is for you to shorten your ideation time, the time between ideation and action, right? The longer you stay without stuff, the less likely you're going to do it. Okay, so if you find you don't have to read 4 books on a subject, okay? Drop that book. If I'm not a fan of finishing books, at least I don't subscribe to the idea that you must finish every book you start. Once you have gotten what you want from that book, dump it and go and take action. Quick.
Wow. Wow, that is liberation. Liberation personally for me. Because no, honestly, like seriously, until I heard that from someone. I used to be like, I have to finish this book from panic to like, especially sometimes, sometimes it doesn't even relate with what you need at this point. But because somebody just said, oh, this book is good, and you just pick the book and you're like, I must finish it, and you're struggling with it because it's not even related to what you need right now. Wow, thank you so much, sir. Yvonne, I hope that has answered your question. I'm sure it has. So I want to take this question from Lucy. Lucy is asking here. She says, thank you very much for the session. My question is, I used to write short essays when in secondary school. I feel this urge to start writing again, but I am afraid. Yeah, I have attended trainings, but I am still afraid to start. What would be your advice to her, sir? This is to you, Mr. Steven.
Okay. When I started writing online, I'd been keeping a journal for 8 years before that time, a personal journal, right? And one thing a personal journal helped me do was to build my confidence in writing, right? So I'd been writing secretly long before I even came out publicly to write. I'd honed my skills already. So when I was coming out to write, to put out stuff, it was in a way, a more refined version of my thoughts and ideas. Now I understand not everybody will have that privilege. Not everybody has, journaled for that stretch of time to be able to build themselves and all that. I would say that find a safe community and write your content, share with them. A safe community. Not Twitter. I'm on Twitter and write. Find a safe WhatsApp group, because my post started as WhatsApp broadcast. Find a place where you can make your mistakes with minimal clash. You can build from there.
Awesome.
Because the backlash can be too much. Sometimes it will discourage you. So
it will push you back inside.
Yes. So find a friendly crowd, share with them, get feedback, grow. That's it.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, sir. We have so many questions in the chat, but we are working with time. But just for the identity part of it, because I'm seeing a lot of questions for Mr. Steven, but I have a question based on the identity issue, finding you. And, Coach said a lot of things about you, and even, your ability to be able to read or to make a decision that you need this knowledge is also by reason of finding you and knowing that you are important, like you said, and that was very big, that if it's you are cheap because you are not making time to invest in yourself, you are finding it too expensive to invest in you, and that is why you are cheap. That one was a buzz. Like, seriously, it's changing for me. It's really important. I want to ask, like, for somebody that has tried, issues about failure, fear of coming out, society, like Coach said, there is a lot of subconscious conditioning that has happened to a lot of people. Sometimes you don't even know that you're acting out who you are not, but because of the way you've been conditioned, because of what you've been told, because of how you've been raised, because of what people have said to you over time, you have now acquired that, that identity. Coach, please, how do we begin to shed that identity, that, so that the real me can come out? I know I had that issue. There was, I used to talk a lot. I used to ask questions a lot. But people would be like, you talk too much, you have questions too much. What do you do? You're always questioning people. You're always, and over time, you just find that, let them not say my own is too much. Let me not ask questions. And, somehow I started getting into communities. I will keep quiet. I won't talk. I don't want to be, so that they will say I'm showing myself. Coach, please, how do we start shedding those identity we have acquired over the years? Because so much has been said, so much has been in our subconscious mind. I know there are people that have, how do we start? Where do we start from? Sometimes it's life itself that has battered you, giving you different phases that you did not plan for. How do you start shedding those, those mindsets? Where do we start from?
Okay, thank you very much, Bunmi. Steven, amazing session, like amazing. I was looking forward to this session and I wasn't disappointed one single bit. And as I told Kikem, I'm about to start saying, as the first speaker said, because he put a lot of light in those things.
Oh, sorry to cut you, Coach. Let me just add Let me
Okay.
add this question. There is a question on identity on the chat as well.
Yeah.
Let me add it so that you can just handle it together because of time. Somebody is asking that how about finding yourself. Is there really a particular self that came with you at birth that you have to find, or you are what you decide? That one is wrong. I could not just allow that slip. So please, we want to know. Emmanuel is asking.
Yeah. Okay. So good. Thanks for the questions, and I'm sure this would answer it. The first thing is we need to know what we even need to shed, because you can't be all things. So I know, yes, a lot of us are going to have this question. So am I actually supposed to be talking, or am I supposed not to be talking? Am I supposed to be singing, or am I supposed to be, there's going to be lots of confusion. And that's why I said this class is just like an opener into the main thing. But there are questions you need to be able to ask yourself, list some things. What do you actually hate? You know, like hate. There are things that if you see it, it irritates you. There are some people that are just comfortable with it. So let me make it like very basic. There are people that are very meticulous. They can't stand things being out of place. And there are people that, anyhow, it's okay now. It's okay. My husband is very, if he lays his bed here, you will think we are going to win an award for it. I used to tease him early days of marriage. Me, when we just got married, he will look at me to know, we used to wear this clothes. I say, yes, sir. And you treat like this. I say, I'll pick it from where I treat now. Don't worry. I know the exact spot it's landed. So who are you? What do you hate? What do you hate? What do you love? Write it. You are the one that knows these things. What frustrates you? What are your trigger buttons? I used to have, and yes, I still work on it. I assume everybody's working on it. I used to have problems with my temper, and I will be yelling everywhere. One of my good friends is on the line now. When I was telling her that I don't shout anymore, she was like, no, that's not possible. Because we know you that when you're angry, just start yelling. I said, yes. I had to go and understand my trigger buttons. Everybody has trigger buttons, and it's different. So in finding you, remember I said this is the third thing I'm leaving now. What do you hate?
Yeah. Yes.
What do you love? What are your trigger buttons? It's different to everybody. These are the things that would help you find you. When you now start seeing those things, you can now like start patterning your life, proposing your life around it. Stephen spoke so much about reading excellent ideas because you can't read everything. This is the knowledge, age of knowledge. If you try, you just be running up and down. You now start doing focused reading. Okay, so now I need knowledge on this. As I told you, for me to stop shouting, I had to understand my trigger buttons. Then I now got knowledge on how to suppress those triggers. And that's why they call people diplomats. It's not like everybody gets angry. We just don't break bottles when we're getting angry. We know how to handle it. And I'll leave this out for someone. This Zoom that we are using, how did Zoom come up? The owner of Zoom was dating his wife then. And for him to see her, he will have to travel long distance. And in his mind, there should be something where we can see and talk, because the phone thing is not enough for me. It was a problem. It was a challenge. It was something that was frustrating him. In that frustration came $1 billion
solution.
And that is finding you. What is that problem that it's driving you crazy? What is driving you crazy is not what will drive me crazy.
Very true.
Now sit down and look, you find you in it. Thank you. I hope that helps.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure that is definitely for someone, and I'm sure that will help someone. We are really out of time. There are so much questions. We have a lot of questions in the chat. At least I can see one or two. Can we take one more? Maybe just one for Mr. Steven, and then we wrap it up. We'll call it. Let me just see. Mr. Steven, are you still here? We are out of time. Maybe you could just do 1 minute. Okay, yes, it's here. Just
Yes,
one
I'm
minute
with you.
to answer this, then I'll take final words from our speakers. It says, this person is asking that how do we find some balance between audio reading and word-to-word visual reading? I've done a lot of listening to books, that's so much that it became like a shortcut to getting information. The grammar aspect is mostly lost. This person is asking for help. So how can he balance it up with, getting the words out? You talked about, building your vocabulary, the creativity part of it. So not just in listening, how can he create balance? Yes, sir.
Okay, the balance part, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes,
Okay.
very.
So I think the balance part is important. I like that question because it's seeking for balance, right?
Yes.
One of the things I advise people is that although using audiobooks for your reading experience is okay, it's nice, but then the journey is longer with audiobooks. Why? Because like one of the things he just mentioned, I think that question is coming from Mr. Abel Sunday. One of the things you just mentioned now, you're missing on the vocabulary part and the word, the the grammar aspect, right, is being lost. Now, those are one of the downsides. What I would advise is this: if you're going to be using an audio for a book, it should be a book that you have read before for like word. So you're using the audio parts as a refresher course, right? So if you're going into a book for the first time, the very first time, I advise that you actually read it. If you're going in for the second and the third time, because there are some books, I call them legacy books. I read them every year, right? Just to refresh, I read them every year. And the reason I read them every year and I get different lessons every year, because they say nobody reads the same book twice, right? You are a different person. I'm a much different person. The first time I read this book by John Maxwell, 15 Laws of Growth. By the time I was reading that book about 5 years later, I was almost in tears. I was like, why did I miss this? It meant that the lesson, it's not that the author was foolish or anything. No, I was too naive. My experiences were not so vast enough to relate with what he was saying.
What he was saying at the time.
At the time, you get. So some books are like that. The first time you're reading the book, actually read it. Then if you want to make it a legacy book that you read often, every year, more often, many times a month, go audio. That would help. All right. But if it's a book you have not read before, definitely I would advise that you actually read it before going to audio.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. So because of time, I hope that answered your question, Abel Sunday. Because of time, we cannot take any more questions. We've already overshot our time. I just want to take final words from Mr. Steven and then my coach, and then we will call it a day so that you can go and enjoy your weekend, and you will say read to call your weekend. So Mr. Steven, your final words for everyone based on all you've talked about. So much to learn already, but we just want to hear your final word, and then I'll take my coach. And we will be saying goodbye. Mr. Steven, are you ready for us?
All right.
Final word.
Final words is, look, as much as I said so much about reading and all, I would also have to admit that reading is not everything you need. Okay, it's not the entire scope of the whole equation. All right, you have to balance reading with action, balance your reading with networking, build relationships, not just actions. Build relationships, because the essence of knowledge is that it should be shared. If you are reading so much and you become an island, you become like a Dead Sea. You will stink, right? So, and you could get very salty and all. So as much as possible, balance your reading, balance your knowledge with relationship, care for people, love them. And the chances are that if you are reading, if you are well read, the chances are that you'll be so knowledgeable that your intolerance for ignorance will become higher. So you have to be able to bear with people who are not as knowledgeable as you are. So if you are giving corrections, do it from a standpoint of love, not condemnation. Okay? Because not everybody will be at the same level as you are. That's my last words.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Wow. Thank you so much. In fact, that's the icing on the cake that it just gives to us. So, Coach, over to you.
Okay, wow. Thank you very much, everybody. It's Saturday morning. Initially, they were like, "We people come on Saturday." I say people that are serious about their lives will come Saturday morning. And you guys have proven that. So the last words from me is, please find yourself, because there is nobody like you. And the world is waiting for you. Imagine the impact that you are going to give to the world when you find yourself. I love to talk so much about the power of one. That idea in your head, as Stephen said, if you dare execute it, imagine the impact it's going to give to the whole world. We look at the vision statement in one of my slides, and one Microsoft has produced over 12,000 billionaires. So I end with this. When you find you, what would you produce to your world? Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. So much fire. Wow, thank you so much to our speakers. What can I say other than to say thank you for making this a worthwhile time? I'm sure that everybody that was part of this webinar today have gotten so much value. And like Mr. Stephen has said today, don't just take it all in. Go and take actions. Go and take action. Write it today. Now you have attended this webinar. Where would you document it? That this is what I would be doing. This is the action I'm going to be taking based on what I've learned today. Please go and do that. Don't let today end without doing that. I celebrate the 29 people that stayed with us till the end of the program. I celebrate those on Facebook. Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for learning. Thank you for not giving up on yourself. Thank you for working on you, investing in you, and showing to the world that you are a person of value. We celebrate you at Read. We love you. We will definitely be getting across to you with more information about more of our programs. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. And from my end, I'm saying bye to everyone. Can we say bye? Can we say thank you and bye? Thank you to our speakers. Bye. Yes, yes. From all over the globe, from wherever you're joining, please say